I wasn't sure what to do for this one because I couldn't figure out what it meant. How does a place matter to me? So I thought places that made me are the ones probably ones that matter to me. I've moved house, I think now 28 times, so I knocked out 8 of them that weren't particularly, that I couldn't really talk about, and just stuck with the main 20. So I was born in 1972. This is Walton-on-Thames. Lived here for a year. I think this is number 120 whatever road. Cottonmore Road, although my dad then told me it was 130, so it's this thing with parents. Once they get divorced, they never really need it. So yeah, no memories of that at all, but that was roughly where I was born. We then moved to Singapore, because my dad works in the oil industry. This is actually the second house in Singapore, because I had to knock one of them out. This is 121C Whitley Road, and I have a vivid memory of running around here with a denim jacket on, singing the song about my new denim jacket. I also remember a hornet's nest in that tree there. 1977-ish, this is Jalan Kampung Cantik is the name of the road, which I believe means beautiful village, or Kampung Cantik means beautiful village. I remember these bollards at the top. Our house is actually at the back, where the Google A is. I remember these bollards, they represented this sort of bit from beyond which was outside, and I used to go at them. This is near Portishead. My parents split up in 1980, moved back to the UK with my mum, and it's near Portishead, Western Gordano village near the town. We lived in the middle one, and the nice thing about this was beyond there was just fields. Then we moved to Croydon. Again, we've seen a few of these drastic changes over the years. This is Ash Road in Shirley, Croydon, near West Wickham, and this was a very traditional suburban. I remember when we moved there, I got lost all the time because everywhere just looked the same. All these houses looked identical. I get off the bus and go, I don't know. 1989, moved to Winchester. Mum got a job at school there. This is when I was about 17. Yeah, sixth form. Went to sixth form Winchester. This is hasn't got a map at the bottom. Shit. I've got one. I apologise. A terrace house in the middle of Winchester, right there. My mum used to go shopping and bring the trolley back. 92, I moved out home and moved to Eastleigh, which is an area, a town between Winchester and Southampton, which used to be a railway town and is now, or was then, a bit of a shithole. But it was where people who couldn't afford to live in Winchester but worked in Winchester lived. I lived there for a couple of years before going to Birmingham Uni as a mature-ish student at the age of 24. I think, 23, 24. Initially at the Vale, it's not actually the same one because they knocked it down and rebuilt it, but that was where the flats were. And then this sort of, the Vale, when you move there, you think, God, this is Birmingham? It's all green and nice and shit. What's that all about? And then you move to Selly Oak in the second year and you see what it was really like. This is on Glebe Road. Not Glebe Road, sorry, Exeter Road. Glebe Road comes next. Right in the middle, we lived there. We had civilians on either side, which was quite a novelty. But they had babies and stuff and we used to annoy them, but it was fine. I paid that karmically later on. 97, third year, still in Selly Oak, but just moved south a bit. So this is on the other side of the tracks. So we were here and now I'm here. Not much to say about that, other than I was trying to find it last year when I was cycling around and I couldn't find it. I just could not find it at all. I managed to find it on the maps because I remember the back garden was concreted over. Moved out of, finished uni and got a flat with my old housemate in Balsall Heath, and this was above the Halal Meat Centre, which is still there, or was still there when they took the street view, and we were in those windows at the top. It looks alright now, it looks like they've got double glazing, but metal window frames and it's above a butcher's. I don't know if you've ever thought about butchers. A butcher's is basically a freezer. It wasn't very nice. We moved out very swiftly after 6 months to Bearwood. It's Bearwood and Smethwick. It's like Birmingham, but it's the bit of the Black Country that actually Birmingham doesn't like pretending it is. It's theirs. That was really nice area, still like it a lot. But then my girlfriend at the time got a job in London. We moved to London, so now I'm in East Finchley in this block of flats. It's one of those, it's actually sheltered accommodation, but as people either go into, die effectively I suppose, they then rent out the accommodation to young professionals. So you've got this weird mix of young people and old people in the same environment. We then moved to Mile End. I really like, well, we're actually, the two top windows there, that's us. I really liked this because we were just spitting distance from Mile End Station, so I could walk to Mile End Station and then be at Tottenham Court Road in like 10 minutes. It was getting close to this idea of what it's like to really live in London. And then I lucked out and got a flat just in there. It looks quite posh actually, but it wasn't really. It was a grotty little bedroom in a shared flat, but it was that far away from Waterloo Station, Millennium, whatever wheel thing. Tate Modern, it was fantastic. I could just walk into, and after we got kicked out of that because my housemate flooded the kitchen, I decided I couldn't really live in London anymore. Went to the Isle of Wight, worked on an organic farm for 4 months. I lived in that little rectangle there. That's the caravan next to the cow shed. And it was good. I didn't get paid any money. I just got fed until my money ran out. And then I moved back to Birmingham to King's Standing. Because a friend of a friend had a spare room. I needed somewhere to live and it was cheap. King's Standing's fascinating because suddenly I was living in suburbia, real proper suburbia for the first time since Croydon, and it was really odd. And I not say I didn't like it, but I didn't really get on with it. And then to even more different, I then moved to Bourneville because friends of mine had a flat in there, above the shops facing onto the green, which was fantastic and weird and incredibly cheap. I think I was paying like about £200 a month rent in 2005. It was absurd. We had to move out of there because the shop underneath went bankrupt, and I decided I wanted to live on my own for the first time ever. So I got a bed sit in King's Heath. There I'm in the 3 windows on the first floor. I thought I was actually moving to Moseley. I am technically in Moseley, it's B13, but actually. And then now I'm living in Sturchley. I didn't want to show my house because this is being filmed, and it's one thing I don't like having online is where I live. So I pretty much, my girlfriend pointed out, I pretty much live on the sofa. And I've been there since 2009 with Fiona, and it's all going wonderfully well. And hopefully that's interesting.